I've had a few people leave comments asking me for a guide as to how I get so many caps, and the other day I reached the caps limit of 25,000, so it's probably time for me to share how I became quite so rich in this game. I do want to let you all know that the tips I'll be sharing won't include any glitches, exploits, or anything of the sort. Most of the tips I have for earning caps will be pretty straightforward, as the methods I used to make money weren't anything all that unconventional. Whenever I'm playing the game, I make sure to check just about every container I come across. You may well be amazed at just how many caps you find whilst doing this. Sure, they only come in single-digit values, but if you're finding a dozen containers with caps in each hour you play, then it all adds up. From my experience, I found that dumpsters and bear-proof trash cans seem to have the highest chance of spawning caps in them. On a similar note, check the bodies of the enemies you kill. Super mutants, ghouls and eyebots are all low-tier enemies that often have caps on their corpses, and higher-ranked enemies such as deathclaws, honeybeasts and grafter monsters seem to nearly always have a decent number of caps on them. The more you kill, the more chances to get some caps. In the early game, this was how I earned most of my money, as super mutants are plentiful at low levels. Something I also made sure to do was bottom out vendors whenever I came across them. Each vendor only has 200 caps, and faction vendors share their cap supplies with each other, meaning you shouldn't have too much trouble ridding them of their money. When it comes to what you're going to sell, there's a few choices here. Obviously, if you've got anything in particular you're looking to get rid of, sell it as soon as you can, but food and chems tend to be my go-to choices. If I've got any food about to spoil, I'll sell it to a vendor rather than have it waste away. Chems are the items I keep an eye out for whilst travelling. I very rarely consume chems in this game, instead I primarily see them as a way to make money. I personally tend to have more chems than the vendors have caps for, but if you find yourself running short, then the Farmer and Chemist perks can help increase how many you can either find or craft. When you are trading with a vendor, there's a few different ways to ensure you make the most bang for your buck. The Hard Bargain perk is perhaps the most obvious method, as it's literally a perk designed to get better prices when bartering. Additionally, a higher charisma skill improves prices. Now, maxing out base charisma isn't all that helpful for most characters, so instead look for ways to temporarily boost it. Legendary armor pieces can boost charisma, but the easiest way to raise the stat is with consumables. Certain foods like Mothman egg omelette and sweet rolls raise your charisma, but the king of cap creating consumables is Great Mentats. This raises charisma by 5 and also betters barter rates for 5 minutes. This is really amazing for if you're planning on doing a big bartering session, and tends to be my go-to item if I'm making a trip to the Watoga vendors. A very quick tip I have for you as well is to keep your eyes open for cap stashes as you travel Appalachia. These give you a reasonable number of caps when you pick them up, and you can potentially increase how many you receive with the Cap Collector perk. If you're having trouble finding these stashes, then the Fortune Finder perk could prove beneficial, giving you an audio warning when you're close to a stash. These stashes do disappear once someone picks them up, so they're not going to be something to rely on, but I figured they were worth mentioning regardless. Probably the most important tip I will give you is to be frugal. This really is the big one, as saving caps is more important than earning them if you want to get rich. The reason I have so many caps is that I don't spend them. I very rarely buy anything from vendors, instead relying on events and random drops to get plans. I don't buy weapons or ammo either, as why would I? I only want to get legendary weapons, which vendors very rarely have on them, and ammo I can craft myself or produce at the ammo factory. By very rarely spending my caps, it means I'm always gaining them instead of losing them. With 275 hours on the character, it's not that hard to reach the cap limit. Just keep playing and avoid spending them and you'll hit it in no time. Once you've got all these caps, you've got to find something to do with them all. The in-game vendors will occasionally have something you want, but I find it's very rare I ever want to buy anything from them. Instead, the best way to spend your caps can often be trading with other players. The game itself doesn't have a specific trading hub, something I want to address in a future video, so I'm going to tell you a couple of places you can go to trade. The first is my own Discord server. I've created a channel there called Fallout 76 Trade, where you can either request specific items to buy, or offer your own sales. I'll leave a link to my Discord in the description so you can join for some quick trades there if you feel so inclined. If you're looking for a proper shop to visit though, then I recommend heading to Horseback Grinder's store. A lot of the footage you've been watching in this video will consist of his shop. He's an individual who plays on PC and has been working on acquiring desirable items for any player. He both buys and sells legendaries, as well as having a good supply of just about anything you could possibly want. If you want to see his inventory for yourself, then the best way to contact him is by heading over to Katogenesis' Discord and messaging the user hspooge. I'll of course leave a link to that Discord in the description too. Heading to his shop has proven incredibly helpful for me, as I was able to acquire decent legendary weapons for future builds, and also sell off some legendaries I didn't want for a price far, far higher than any in-game vendor would ever offer you. This also means it's potentially the best way to earn caps fast. Keep hold of your legendaries and see if you can haggle a good price for them with him in order to rapidly gain some cash. And that's it for my guide on how to make caps in Fallout 76. If you've got any tips of your own, make sure to leave them in the comments, check the description for Discord links, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for even more Fallout 76 content. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.